who watched the stream if I could play a character that had some ground targeting. That's what I'm going. I suppose I could play my Necromancer. Necromancers have lots and lots of ground targeting. So let's go ahead and try. Oh. I'm not going to be playing PvP. I'd get destroyed. I don't have the muscle memory for this, and even like my Necromancer now has pretty much a full set of abilities unlocked, and it's going to be very difficult for me to play this because I haven't leveled up using this. So definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to work on. So first off, let's yeah, there we go. All right, so this button turns on that ability. Now let me actually turn that off, and I'm going to go to the map. No, I don't want to go to the map. I want to leave PvP. And the only reason I was in PvP was so that I could do the daily with... I don't actually run my Necromancer in PvP. Not that you shouldn't run Necromancer in PvP, but just because I haven't, so it's not really my thing. We'll see how it goes, though. Playing my Necro. This really is the character that I'm leveling up with my son. He's like 4 or 5 levels ahead of me. So there's that. Let me go to the map now and see, where do I want? Okay, what would be nice is you can't control the map with the left joystick. That would be awesome. But it's not a big deal that you can't, so, you know, no big deal. I'm going to go here to the Ascalon Sediment. And I'll head west from there. And I'm going to run mostly staff. I'll switch between abilities weapons as I can. But what else I'm going to want to try is... also... Oh, and you know what? Did want to... well... Oh no, this is 720p, so I can do that at 60 frames per second. Alright. So what I'm also going to want to do is look at my abilities, because I don't know how I have this set up. Alright. So, you guys can't actually see that. Let me hit desktop real quick. Alright. So, if I push this is F1, then we have F2, F3, and F4. And what happens if I click it? That's F5. So if I click this in, it's F5. Now, these do not require a click, so that's just tap. So if when I want to go into Reaper Shroud, hold on. Let me move away from this guy. There. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw my... Let me throw my webcam right on top of this. And that's way too big. Then you can't see the settings. Well, I already went over the settings on the left, so that's fine. But let me just see if this looks okay. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. It's covering up quite a bit, but it's okay. Alright, so as I was saying, let me just add one more thing. Just... there we go. Oh, forget it. I don't know what I'm doing that for. Move. So, if I hear the button here, alright, so configure controller. That's to move, obviously, and then what did I set the click action was to auto run. Alright, so this will do, this button right here is my one ability. This is my right click right there. This bumper right here is my heal, and then this bumper is my weapon swap. Now, right now, I think that I only have those buttons set. So if I go into mode shifting, what am I currently using? Okay, so what I think I need to do is for this set, I'm going to turn on mode shifting. My mode shift button will be my right grip. And that will turn this into 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it looks like I already have that set up. So if I hit right grip, that's... Let me turn this around. That's this right here. If I pull this, it should make it so that I can hit the 7 button. So this should be... Let me look again. Alright, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. So 7's on the top. So I want to go 8, 9, and 10. 8. Oh, good, it's working. 9. 10. So now I've got my... my team with me. So I want to come out, and actually I wanted to head west. So I'm heading the right way now.
You there. News just in. Nebo Terrace is completely overrun. What's happening to its citizens?
Sorry. Pretty girl came in the room. Got distracted. Alright. Where is... on my way out of here. If I actually look at the map... Dude, what did I say with the map? Was it... No. Oh, no. Up? I don't remember. I have to look again. Oh, that was scroll wheel. Thought I had a button set to bring up the... Oh, it was, yeah. Whoops. Well, that's not bringing up my app. It should be that button right there. Oh, why is that set to tab? That should be set to M. There. Alright. So I have to head north. I need to go across this little bridge right here, and then across. Let's go ahead and... Go ahead and do that. I want to head up here. And while I'm heading that way, I'm going to go ahead and try to set down some... So there's the 2. 3. Four. Can't see. Okay, there. 4. 5 is... Yeah, I can aim like this. Okay, and then if I have my thumb on the trackpad, when I tilt the controller, it's tilting things for me. I do need to zoom out though. Okay, that makes things a lot easier. Being zoomed out when you're a ranged class is really important. I'm able to put my wells down. So let me head along this road, and there's a warg over here that I want to attack. So let me first we'll call up my little bone minion or a healing minion. I don't remember what he's called. And I'm just going to start with an attack. And then 3 is right there, and then we'll do 4 right there. Then 2, okay. How do I uncast? I need a button to undo that. I just, whoops, did not mean to hit that button. Oh, here we go. Let's try a jumping puzzle with this. See how we do. I don't know how hard this jumping puzzle is. Oh, that's really easy. And then, is that the button? No, that's the button. Button. I think it was... There we go. Shift click. Shift click the pad. And I'm just going to hit escape because I don't need to watch it. Now let's go find some things to kill. See how good we can get at that. With the Steam controller. Alright, so we're going to start by attacking this warg. I think I'm missing because he's obstructed. Alright, I want to do 5. I'm going to try and keep moving while I'm doing this. And if I tap that, oops. Oh, I tapped that way too fast. Okay, so you got to be careful with that. 2 is right there. Yeah, I'm putting these down. I don't know if Necromancer's the way to go with this, because the wells seem like something you put down ahead of time, or I need to find a lot of enemies to fight all at once. I'm going to fight that, and then I'm going to fight that. And actually, I might be better off, in order to test this, doing this without my minions. Oh, this trick or treat. Oh wait, oh, this will be a good test. Wow, you know what? I thought Halloween was going to be over today, but this should be a good test because there's going to be lots and lots of monsters in here. We'll start with that, and then so here's the thing, is if I want to target things after I hit the button, I need to put my so I need to move my thumb, bring it up, and then cast it afterwards. Now let's switch to Reaper mode. I want to go 2. We'll go 4 and start draining everybody near me. We'll hit 5. I'll leave Reaper mode. And then 5. It almost feels like you're gonna try and have this lined up ahead of time and then double tap the button that you want. So as I come up here, I'm going to cast right on that guy. So I'm going to walk up to here, I'm going to aim at him, and then I'll go 3-3. You know? And then I'll run over here, I'll aim at that guy, go 2-2. And we'll go back to the shift. Go 2. And then 4. Well, I didn't have to hold that down. There we go. 5. Four. Whoops. See, I think that maybe this is not the best setup for a ground-targeted... I think this could be a mistake. I don't think that this is really the best way to do it. Well, that is unless... Where's the dodge button? Dodge button. There we go. So we'll go 3. Yeah, I'm not liking that. I had forgotten about ground targeting. Now, this could be because I'm not used to it. You know, maybe it's something that you can do. Bring this back up. We will do 8, 9, and then 10's going to be right here. See? I think it's a possibility, but it's going to be tough. And I think that if you have never played before, you would be able to do this just fine. I also might be able to set it so that the gyro's always on. That could be a mistake as well. Let me go to a safe area, see if I can figure that out. Because if the gyro's always on, then that is a moot point. That makes things a lot easier. What was that sound? I think I'm safe over carve a pumpkin in it. Take a look. Gyro enable button always on. Alright, so this might make things a little bit more maybe I should lower the sensitivity. But alright, so I've got my gyro for this. Now, if I go 4, you know, or if I go, or that was 3. Let's say I want to go 2. And then there's 5 right there. And then there's 4 right there. And there's 2 right there. Whoops, I just switched abilities. That for a second. And 2. Really more single target. There's area of effect. There we go. And then 5 does form. And 4, interrupt him. Go switch back. We've got 2. And we'll switch back. And then I gotta switch this, so this is 2 right there. See, this is much, much better. The only problem you're gonna run into is if you're not careful, you're going to aim something when you don't mean to. Because you can't turn it off. So then here comes 3, I want to grab that guy. Comes 2, I want to grab that guy. Stay out of this. Dodge. Comes 4. That. And you know what else I was thinking about? It might be a good idea. Is if you actually remapped these buttons, instead of being to numbers, but to be to the letters on the controller, so that way it says it on your screen. So when you look down, it would say X for 2, and maybe Shift X for 8 over there. I don't know why I just pointed. Can't see what I'm actually pointing at. But you know, after having the gyro on full time, I think that it's supposed to be at my map. Did I do that on purpose? Oh, that's right. I remember now. So my right grip, this is use, this is map, and I don't have these Victor. So there's 3 right there. See, this is actually pretty good. So, okay. I jumped the gun when I said that this was a mistake.
On the mend.
4. That was a 5. But that's just down to me not practicing. There we switch out of that. We'll go 4. That was a 3. 4 is. I'm gonna spin around real quick and put a 2 on this guy. There. Then I'm going to put a 4 right there. We're going to put a 5 on that. Now, could you use this in PvP? I would not touch PvP with this in a million years. That would be a huge mistake. You would get absolutely destroyed because you just can't react fast enough. But in PvE, I think you'd be okay. I mean, I've got that quick turnaround time. Honestly, I think that I could turn around faster with the mouse. Aiming's a little slower. But I can turn around real fast with the mouse. So that's actually good. Four's down. And plus, I'm also a little limited because I'm trying to keep my hands in on camera. So yeah, now that I've got this figured out, I think I'm doing okay. And then we'll do 8. Oh no, that was 10. 8 is 7, 8, 9. So 8 is. I want to make the bone minions. So I'm gonna. There we go. And then blind. And then another bone minion exploding. And then we'll do a 5. And a 4 there. And then a 2 right there. And then I'll switch weapons and area of effect. Blow the horn on this guy. Now what I have not been doing much of is look at all those trick-or-treat bags. What I have not been doing much of, because I've been focusing so much on the other things, I have not been attacking with my 1 ability. Okay? So I gotta remember 1 ability, then I'll use my 2. When it's done, I go back to my 1 ability, then I use my 3. My other things are on cooldown, so I'm going to switch. I'm going to put a 5 down. That's pretty cool, though. I think it's good. Again, I'm not going to use it. But there's no reason why you shouldn't, unless you're doing PvP. No, that was the wrong button. All my minions. Alright, let me actually get off here to a safer area. Well, yeah, I want to get to an area that's a little less busy.
You should be used to it. After all, it's time history repeated itself.
5. Make them explode. Again. And I'm purposely not switching to my other item set very much because somebody was asking me to do ground targeted stuff. But now I just want to end this one. Alright, so let's go over here. Am I crippled? No, I'm not crippled. Come on, die, will you? Alright, so now that I'm over here where it's relatively safe, let me do a little bit of changing some stuff. So controls. Okay, so okay, what I was gonna do is I was gonna bind these all to the right letters, but I can't. I want to rebind all that stuff. But you kind of get the idea. Let's go ahead and leave the Mad King's lab. Well, let's go a little deeper into it. Actually, let me take just a quick second and turn down the heat in here. Because, of course, it was freezing in here when I walked in the office. Oh, it's boiling hot. I cranked it up like a madman. Swap weapons, and we'll go 2. And then there. Fear him away. Oh no, that's fear. Here, while my minions are taking this guy on. Oh. Try and pick this guy up. Alright, no, I'm gonna have to kill these guys first. Pardon me. What is over here? What is that? Is boatman. What a boatman is. And we're gonna try and fight this veteran. I'll probably get a little quiet because I'm gonna have to concentrate. I don't know the buttons as much. Retaliation. Oh, I got that. Aren't the option to toggle gyro? Yeah, you know what? There is an option to toggle the gyro on and off. I turned it off because ground targeting is a lot easier with the gyro always on. So if I switch to ground targeting like this, but also I'm moving more because of where I'm holding the controller. I'm trying to keep the controller in the camera shot. We'll go a little defensive here. I mean, is it as good as mouse and keyboard? Definitely not. It's not. Not anywhere near as close to good as mouse and keyboard. But as far as the idea, can you play this game with a controller? Yeah, you definitely can. I wouldn't do it in PvP. Oh, shoot, I missed. Dodge. 2. Dodge. Guy's right up in my butt here. Let me swap, and we'll do 2. Go. Free action. Interrupt. After this fight, I'll show you how I can turn the... you missed it earlier where I turned it on to make things a little easier. Hey! Look at that, some daily progress. All right, let's go ahead and click on that while I'm in the corner here. All right, so this seems like a safe-ish place. All right, so if I hit this button here, and I go into configure controller, and I turn the gyro to not be always on. So now, doesn't do anything when I move the controller around, unless I'm touching this. Now it works, okay? Now the issue with this is I have to take my thumb off of this pad. Oh, no problem, buddy. I'm always glad to help. So the problem is I've got to take my thumb off of this pad in order to hit these buttons. So let's say I'm using my staff and I hit 2. Now I can't aim unless I move my thumb away from this button. So here's the trade-off that you have to decide about. Here, let me hit escape. do I, and I don't want to aim at that guy right now, do I have, I'm moving around like this, and then, okay, I want to cast 2, so I hit 2, and then like that, or do I turn on, and that's the great thing about the controller, though, you get to decide what you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and say always on, okay, or do I say, all right, I just leave it on all the time, okay, and then I can hit 2 and keep my thumb over here on the on the button so that I can aim it and then bam, hit 2. The other option is I switch it back to right pad touch. All right, I hit 2 and then I move around with the gyro or with my thumb, depending on how big of a movement I want to do. And then in order to fire it off, I pull that. So there's a couple different options that you can do. And I'm not sure which one's really the best. Pardon me, let me just get a drink real quick. Let's see what other options we have. Okay, so I really don't think any of these other things would really... I think always on or right pad touch is really the best option. And holding my... I mean, this is not the most comfortable way to play. I'm holding my hands up on my desk. Not terribly comfortable like this. It would be much more comfortable if my hands were down. Like... Sorry, I gotta crack my nut. If my hands were down in my lap, it'd be much more comfortable. And I think I'd be better with it that way. But... keeping that in, I wanted to be able to have it on the screen so people could see how I'm controlling it. And this thing is so responsive. Isn't that awesome? So, there you go. I mean, that's how it's working. It seems to be working okay, though. You know, I mean, this would be great for PvE. If you want to play this on the couch, like, you can get a Steam Link for 50 bucks. Okay? 50 bucks. And I don't know if it comes with a controller. I think it comes with a controller. No, it doesn't. There's no way that it comes with a controller. But you get a Steam Link, and you hook that up out in your living room. And then, after you've got that hooked up in your living room, what you do then is you play Guild Wars 2 from the comfort of your couch. Now that sounds pretty rad. Yeah, it's definitely more fluid to play, and I feel like I can be a lot more reactive with it that way. Let me turn that off. I'm going to swap weapons. I'll put down 5 or 4 right there. I'm going to fear this guy away. Oh, that wasn't a fear. That's a fear. That guy. I think with some practice, you could get really good with this. I don't know if you'd ever be on the level of the keyboard and mouse, but this isn't a keyboard and mouse replacement. It's an Xbox controller replacement. And this game is not a controller game, but you can play it with a controller. That's the thing. Loot here. Heck? Oh.
Might makes right.
I carved that yet? It did. Whoa! Okay, you gotta be careful there. I just flipped that around way faster than I thought I would. There we go. Started using the PS4 controller because you have Guild Wars 2 hooked up to a large TV and it's better to play on the couch for PvE content. I would definitely say that this... I don't have a PS4 controller, but I would say... Well, does the PS4 controller support that touch thing in the front of it? On a computer? Like, can you use a PS4, like the middle... Isn't the middle part of a PS4 controller touch-based? Because if it is, then you might have the same advantages if it's supported by the game, but if it's not, then this is definitely a much better controller to use. At least in my opinion. Well, and it has the gyro too, right? How comfortable is it to reach over to the middle of the thing in order to use that, the touch option for the PS4? I'd have to look at a PS4 controller. That doesn't seem right. Aren't there buttons in the middle? Not bad because it's responsive. This is definitely responsive. I'm losing here. Distracted by... that's not what I want. Oh, yeah, that's... This is what I want. And we'll blind. You don't really need to reach the middle. Alright, that's cool. I definitely think that in the future that these right here, these two paddles on the back are going to be standard issue for just about everything. And I'm also having trouble because I don't play like this ever. So I'm a mouse keyboard kind of guy. I've always been a PC guy. I'm gonna go 4. Oh, for mapping it's hard. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, the Steam stuff is really good for mapping. They've gotten so they've got so many options for you on this. In fact, I can go through the if after I get actually here. Let me just run away and get out of combat. Guys, leave me alone for a second. Don't.
Retaliation incoming.
All right. Here, I'm in a safer area over here. Whoop, that's close. All right, so if we look at this. Whoops. Okay. So you have mode shifting. So if I hold down my right grip, it turns the left into a scroll wheel. All right, so show you what that's like. I grip this down, and I can scroll in or scroll out, which I think is fantastic. And that's really cool. And there's that haptic feedback, and that's the thing about this controller is the feedback from this. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I doubt you can. I highly doubt you can hear that. But when I use this, there's like this little tiny click under my thumb, and I can feel like it's working. All right. So, okay, there's that option. Then this is just my WASD. I don't use A and D for that though. I use Q and E. It's just something I always have. And then if I click it, that's my auto run. I can also set mode shifting so that if I hold this down, these become something else. So that's good too. So if I wanted, I could say the mode shift button is the right grip, and then that would be a whole nother set of things. I'm gonna turn that off though, because I don't want to mess with that. This has the mode shifting, so like I showed you before, when I pull in the right grip, it changes what these buttons are. You can set up, you can turn on the haptics intensity, so when you push in the button, it gives you feedback to tell you that you're doing something. And you could turn on turbo, not that that would really be useful in Guild Wars 2, and you can adjust how often it repeats. This is really cool. I've got it set up so that when I think it's under advanced settings. Yeah, right here. When I double tap my right pad, it jumps for me, and if I push it in and click it, it dodges for me. So there's my jump, and then there's my dodge, which is pretty cool. Let's see, anything else that I've got? I've got left mouse here, and I can do a full pull or a soft pull. And right now I've got soft pull as left mouse. I could set something up so that if I pull it all the way, it does something else. So, for instance, I wouldn't use this, but just to give you an idea of what else you can do with it. If I do a full pull action, I'm just going to say it's space, which I wouldn't do that. So this is left click. That's left click, but if I pull it all the way, it jumps. If I just give it a light tap, so it gives you those options. And I'm gonna get rid of that. Move. Yeah, that's really good. And that's pretty much all the features of it. It's fantastic. Let's see, can that... See, now here's the thing. I don't know what this does, but if you look... I can't use the mouse on here. But if you look on the bottom, it says A, select, X, remove, Y, toggle multi-button on. I don't know what that is. And by the way, what with the action cam off, is it playable for having a larger view or targeting or running? I would not play this without the action cam on, because otherwise you are constantly, you have to hold something down all time. Right? Just like with a mouse, you have to hold down the right click all the time in order to do that. Now, what I have set up is that on the back of the controller, this is where my left hand goes. Right here, this is the grip button for that. So if I pull that in, I just tap it, it lets go of my mouse, and then I can select something like that. So that works fine too. But I leave it on all the time. But then again, ever since Action Camera came out, that's the only way that I play. I cannot play without it anymore. It's just too good. And it also means that I don't have my inventory and mail and all that stuff bound to something. So if I click on inventory, you know, I could use the scroll wheel like that in order to scroll up and down. Okay, I could... Oh yeah, I could consume that. I could take a Halloween tonic and turn into... Can't really tell what I am. Am I? Oh, I'm a skeleton. Okay, I can see myself. I'm surrounded by a bunch of crap. Okay. So you can do this. I wouldn't do it, because then you've got to assign one of your buttons to be right click, and you've got to hold it down anytime you want to change your camera. So I just leave it on and then turn it off when I need my mouse for something, and turn it back on. And on my mouse, like when I play with my mouse, whoops, basically in order to turn this on or off, alright, I just push my scroll wheel to the right like this, and it turns it off, and then to the left, or turn it. So this is a toggle, flipping my scroll wheel. So that's the same thing as pushing this button down here. That makes sense? The one that killed you? But that was going, this was not going to be a full stream. It's just quick, wanted to show people. Ooh. See, can I get back up here? I don't think I can. Wow. Okay. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm going to go ahead and stop streaming now. I've got a million things to do around the house. But thanks for watching, and thank you for the suggestion. I can't believe that I forgot about ground targeting effects like that. That's really irritating that I forgot that in the first video. But thanks a lot, and I'm going to log off now, so have a good one.